1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans.
Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New Orleans Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Jameis going to look to throw right away. Olave over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned lastly they need another defense breaker in their receiving room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Winston. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. Winston on target to Olave for the Saints first. The Saints in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you talk about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Winston now from the 50. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here we go. 11.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This defense for the Saints, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible. But we watched it happen.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now Burrow on 1st down.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
On the move to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow.
A throw for Burrow, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Following the interception, Winston. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
11, Thomas.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
11 MP.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans.
And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Jameis to throw it.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
From the 30 on second down. Burrow, he gets this one to Boyd. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
8-yard pickup. First down, Cincinnati.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice game. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Mixon. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On one, ready?
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Now it's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. Touchdown! Joe Mixon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score 7, Saints nothing.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime.
it.
A dime, which is...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Working out of the gun, Winston. This one taken in by Olave. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Got an open man, it's Olave. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. That third down conversion good for 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston to give, it's Kamara. Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thomas.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Winston.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might.
Throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
A nightmare of the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time.
Chidobe with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Burrow will throw. He will find his man Chase complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. Open man is Chase complete.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Burrow on play action. And it's caught. Touchdown Bengals. Tyler Boyd in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7.
14, Saints 7.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up the 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here we go.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Mixing up the middle. Demario Davis there on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst with it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I'm one, right?
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go.
Big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, the next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kamara. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get high.
On second down, here's Mixon.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 42. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The wall didn't work very well on that play. Defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they move down to the 9.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
They'll give it to Mixon, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
2nd down and goal. Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has. Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Now Winston. And Thomas has it. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TD.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30, up to the 33.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 33.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Flushed out right. And going deep for Hill. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Finding it. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bengals grab it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
64 yards on the ground for him so far.
Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
They go play action with Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit and time fading.
Flush to his right.
And that is caught downfield by Thomas.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. To try again after the sack.
Winston, he completes it to Olave. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
From the gun, Winston. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Jameis to throw it.
Tries the left side and finds Olave. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Jameis again. Throw left side complete. That's Hill.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
On second down, Winston again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On third down, Winston. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Taken down by Pete Werner.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 22-yard line.
Ready?
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
So this one in the win column now for the